She says she hates cheaters. She posts quotes about loyalty. She calls herself different. But that's the first sign she isn't. Because women who truly get away with cheating don't act suspicious. They act pure. In this video, I'll expose the 7 tricks women use to cheat and make you think they're incapable of it. From emotional misdirection to digital alibis, from the best friend cover to the good girl mask, every move has a purpose. You'll see why the women who talk most about honesty are often the ones who hide best. And after this, you'll never mistake innocence for loyalty again. You know what hurts most? It's not that she lied. It's that you defended her while she did. You gave loyalty she never earned, trust she never protected, and forgiveness she never asked for. You kept believing her words while she studied your weaknesses. And the worst part, she made you feel guilty for noticing the truth. If you've ever felt that kind of betrayal, hit like and subscribe, because this channel will teach you how to never feel it again. Tell me in the comments, have you ever trusted someone who made you doubt yourself? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal next isn't just about her behavior. It's about how women use emotion itself as the perfect disguise. Number 1. Emotional misdirection. When women cheat, they don't vanish. They reinvent connection. The most dangerous cover isn't distance, it's affection. Because when guilt starts to burn beneath the surface, she won't pull away. She'll move closer, softer voice, longer hugs, more I love yous. It feels genuine because it's designed to. You see, when a woman begins to feel the weight of what she's hiding, she doesn't deal with it by confessing. She deals with it by redirecting that guilt into exaggerated care. She'll cook your favorite meal for no reason, text you at work to say she misses you, ask about your day with an attention that feels brand new. You think she's reconnecting, but in reality, she's buying silence from your intuition. Men fall for this every time because men equate warmth with truth. If she's sweet, it must mean she's sincere. If she's attentive, it must mean she's loyal. That's the first psychological trap. You trust what feels emotionally familiar, not what's logically consistent. Imagine this. She's been distant for weeks. Then suddenly, she's affectionate, flirty, playful, almost like the woman you first fell for. You breathe again. You tell yourself, we're finally back. But no, you're not back. You're being handled. She's using affection as a shield to reset your perception before your suspicion grows teeth. Her timing is never random. That extra sweetness always follows periods of tension, late nights, or unexplained absences. It's a behavioral smoke bomb. Here's the cruel irony. While you're relaxing into her arms, her mind is calculating. Every kiss is damage control. Every kind word is psychological camouflage. She's not soothing you. She's managing you. When affection appears without reason, when it feels sudden and overly polished, don't call it romance. Call it what it is, emotional misdirection. Because the truth is simple and brutal. A sudden wave of love isn't always romance. Sometimes it's guilt in disguise. Number 2, the best friend shield. When a woman is getting too close to another man, emotionally or physically, she doesn't hide him. She introduces him early, casually, harmlessly. He's like my brother. He's just a friend from work. You're so paranoid he has a girlfriend. These aren't reassurances. They're scripts. Carefully rehearsed lines meant to train your brain to stop asking questions. It's not transparency. It's preconditioning. See, women understand that suspicion dies in familiarity. The more often you hear his name, the safer he sounds. And over time, you stop noticing the long texts, the late-night calls, the sudden laughter at her phone. You've been desensitized. You've been taught not to worry. This is what I call controlled transparency. She doesn't lie, not directly. She gives you just enough truth to build your own false sense of security. It's brilliant, it's strategic, and it works every single time. Here's how it plays out. She starts mentioning him more often, sprinkling his name into stories. You even meet him once, and he seems polite, non-threatening. You shake his hand, not realizing you just met the ghost that will haunt your relationship. Weeks pass. You notice her tone change when she talks about him. Warmer, softer, more emotionally charged, but when you bring it up, she gets defensive. Why are you so jealous? Can't I have male friends? At that moment, you lose twice. Once because your intuition was right, and again because now you look insecure for voicing it. Psychologically, this trick works because it plays on your need to be the trusting partner. Men pride themselves on not being controlling, and she knows it. So, she weaponizes your emotional maturity against you. And here's the cold truth. Women rarely cheat with strangers. They cheat with someone who already feels safe. So when she keeps him close under your nose, she's not being loyal. She's being efficient. If she ever tells you he's just a friend, listen carefully. Not to her tone, but to her timing. Because in the art of deception, visibility is the best disguise. The man she tells you not to worry about isn't a threat. He's a decoy. Number 3, routine manipulation. Here's where women get dangerously smart. When a man cheats, he disrupts his rhythm. He becomes careless, distracted, inconsistent. But when a woman cheats, she does the opposite. She doubles down on predictability. She doesn't change her habits. She hides within them. She still goes to the gym, still meets her friends on Fridays, still posts the same kind of pictures, same smiles, same captions about self-care and busy days. Everything looks identical because she knows that men stop questioning what feels familiar. This is the psychology of trust through repetition. You see the same pattern, and your brain concludes nothing's wrong. That's the illusion she creates. Stability. But beneath that stability, something else is being rearranged. Maybe she stays an extra 40 minutes after work because of a project. Maybe yoga suddenly runs later because the instructor added stretches. Maybe she needs more alone time to clear her head. Every excuse is plausible. That's the point. It's not about big lies. It's about tiny inconsistencies that dissolve under casual questioning. And because she's not doing anything obviously different, your instinct gets confused. Psychologically, this works because of what's called cognitive laziness. Humans prefer believing the world is stable rather than confronting what feels threatening. You don't want to believe she's lying, so your brain fills in the blanks, protecting your peace at the cost of your clarity. And she knows that. She relies on it. So, while you're busy being reassured by routine, she's busy rewriting what that routine actually means. Her work trip now includes detours. Her ME time now has company. Her girls' night now has a hidden agenda. By the time you start sensing something off, she's already built a timeline of plausible stories that overlap perfectly. Nothing looks wrong because the camouflage is structural. She doesn't need to run. She doesn't need to lie outright. She just needs to tweak the details inside a pattern you already trust. So next time you tell yourself she'd never do that, she's too consistent. Remember, consistency isn't always honesty. Sometimes it's choreography. She doesn't need to break her routine. She just needs to repurpose it. Number 4, the guilt flip. Every man who's ever questioned a woman's behavior has lived this moment. That exact second when your intuition whispers, something isn't right. And before you can even finish the thought, she turns the entire situation around. You're no longer the one asking questions. You're the one defending yourself. This is not coincidence. It's choreography. Here's how it happens. You notice she's distant, guarded, distracted. Her phone stays face down. Her responses feel delayed. You finally ask, is everything okay? Or maybe, who are you texting so much lately? And then the shift. Her tone hardens. Her eyes sharpen. She takes the moral high ground. Why are you being so controlling? Do you not trust me anymore? Wow, I can't believe you'd think that about me. Suddenly, you're the problem. You went from detective to defendant in under a minute. This is what psychologists call emotional reversal. It's not just defense, it's offense. By accusing you first, she forces your emotional energy away from her actions and back onto your behavior. It's a power grab disguised as vulnerability. And it works because men hate conflict. The moment you sense tension, you retreat, apologize, explain yourself. You'd rather preserve the peace than push for truth, and she counts on that. The genius of the guilt flip is that it creates chaos. You'll rush to clean up. You start comforting her, convincing her that you're not insecure. Meanwhile, she just bought herself time, space, and emotional leverage. She might even soften the tone after the argument, saying, I just don't want to fight anymore. But that isn't peace. It's control. Because now she's trained you. The next time your gut feels uneasy, you'll hesitate to bring it up, and that hesitation is her shield. Men often say, she made me feel crazy. No, she made you feel guilty for being right. So remember this. When someone flips the script so smoothly that you start questioning your sanity, stop apologizing and start observing. The moment you start explaining yourself, she's already rewritten the story. Number 5. The social media mirage. You think you can tell when something's off by scrolling through her feed. You can't, because the modern woman doesn't delete evidence. She designs invisibility. Most men make one fatal mistake. They think cheating is something you catch. It isn't. It's something you miss. And social media is her best tool for making sure you keep missing it. Here's how she does it. She'll keep her online life looking spotless. Happy couple photos, soft captions about gratitude, maybe even a story of your date night, carefully timed, intentionally public. It's not love, it's camouflage. Because public affection buys her private freedom. While you're smiling at the post where she tagged you, the real story lives somewhere else. In the hidden messages, the private stories you can't see. The business account where the comments never seem to match the content. She won't disappear from social media. That would look suspicious. She'll do the opposite. Post more, look happier, curate the image of a woman who would never need to cheat. And here's where it gets sophisticated. She leaves breadcrumbs that look like honesty. Maybe she lets you glance at her DMs once. Maybe she scrolls through her feed in front of you. That's not transparency. That's stage management, controlled access to a controlled illusion. Psychologically, this is pure misdirection. The same trick a magician uses. She controls your attention, not your access. She knows men equate online visibility with loyalty. If she's posting us, she must be faithful. Wrong. She's buying your trust with pixels. Watch for subtle shifts instead. Sudden silence from someone who used to post constantly. A new pattern of likes from one unfamiliar name. A private story that never includes you. New boundaries around her phone that she never used to have. The modern cheater doesn't need lies, she just needs layers. Social media isn't her alibi, it's her weapon. It makes her look accountable while she moves unseen. Because when you're too busy feeling proud to be shown off, you forget to ask what's happening when the camera turns off. She's not deleting evidence, she's curating your illusion. Number 6. Emotional replacement. Most men believe cheating begins in the bedroom. It doesn't. It begins in the conversations she's no longer having with you. When a woman starts to drift, the first thing she changes isn't her schedule. It's her confidant. The emotional connection she once built with you begins to transfer slowly, quietly to someone else. At first, it's harmless. He's just a friend who listens, a coworker who gets her, a man who understands her energy. But listen closely. That's the language of emotional migration. Each time she vents to him about something you said, she's building a new bridge. Each time she laughs at his messages, she's reinforcing the emotional bond. You don't see it because there are no visible cracks. The house still stands, but the foundation is shifting underneath. Emotional cheating feels invisible because it's clean. No lipstick, no suspicious texts, no late-night confessions, just small behavioral shifts that drain the intimacy drop by drop. She's there physically, her voice, her body, her habits. But something essential has left the room. You start to notice that her smile doesn't reach her eyes anymore. Her compliments sound rehearsed. Her touch feels like muscle memory, not affection. She still says, "I love you," but it feels like punctuation, not emotion. And when you finally bring it up, she'll say, "You're imagining things." But you're not. You're feeling the absence of presence, the hollow that forms when her heart is somewhere else. Psychologically, this is called emotional displacement. It allows her to cheat in peace because she convinces herself the relationship was already dead, that you stopped trying, that she's simply finding connection where it still exists. So, by the time she crosses the physical line, the emotional betrayal has already been justified in her mind. To her, she's not cheating. She's moving on. That's why you'll never see it coming, because she didn't leave. She just replaced you emotionally first, physically later. Remember, a woman doesn't have to sleep with another man to abandon you. She only has to give him the parts of her you stopped paying attention to. Emotional cheating isn't the warm-up. It's the real affair. Number 7. The good girl persona. When most men picture a woman who cheats, they imagine someone flirtatious, secretive, maybe even reckless. But the ones who truly get away with it are the opposite. The ones who seem untouchable. She's the good one, the loyal one, the one who preaches about honesty, despises liars, and swears she'd never forgive a cheater. She posts quotes about loyalty. She calls out other women for being messy. She reminds everyone that real love is rare. It sounds noble, it sounds safe. But that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because what she's really doing isn't proving her virtue. She's building armor, a moral disguise so effective that no one, not even you, would ever suspect her of the very thing she condemns. Psychologically, this is called moral overcompensation. It's when someone emphasizes virtue so loudly that it starts to sound like a cover story. The louder she insists she's different from those women, the more she's trying to hide the possibility that she's exactly like them. You stop questioning her because she's too good. You start defending her even when your intuition screams otherwise. And that's how she wins. Not through deceit, through reputation. See, her friends trust her. Her family trusts her. You trust her. She's crafted a spotless public image that serves as an impenetrable alibi. No one looks behind the curtain of purity. Behind closed doors, though, it's a different story. She's not sneaking around recklessly. She's operating under the shield of virtue. She sleeps well at night because in her mind, she's still the good one. She rationalizes it. I'm not a bad person. I just needed connection. Her morality becomes flexible, her image untouchable. And when you finally start to question her, she'll turn that same moral shield against you. After everything I've said about cheaters, you really think I'd do that? You freeze. You doubt yourself because attacking her integrity feels like attacking her identity. And that's the psychological trap. She's trained you to protect the mask that hides her betrayal. The truth, innocence isn't always purity. Sometimes it's performance. She's not faithful. She's just smart enough to look faithful. You see, cheating isn't just an act. It's an art. A psychological performance designed to stay invisible. Every move she made, every sweet word, every harmless friendship or perfect selfie was part of a pattern, not chaos, but choreography. Each trick built to control one thing, your perception. And that's the real weapon. She never needed to be smarter than you. She only needed to guide what you noticed and what you ignored. That's why good men get blindsided, because they confuse emotional safety with honesty, consistency with loyalty, words with truth. But in the real world, none of those things mean what you think they do. Affection can be a cover, transparency can be manipulation, and stability can be a stage set to keep you asleep. So don't waste your energy searching for evidence. The physical proof is never where the betrayal begins. Instead, learn to track patterns. Learn to read energy. Learn to trust your instincts when the story feels right, but the timing doesn't. If you feel something is off, it's not paranoia, it's perception. And ignoring it doesn't protect love, it protects the lie. Men like you don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they've been trained to doubt themselves, to believe that suspicion means insecurity, but it doesn't. It means awareness. And awareness is your first defense. So the next time she's overly sweet, overly open, overly moral, pause. Not to accuse, but to observe. Because once you start seeing clearly, her tricks stop working. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, because every week I'll teach you how to see what others pretend not to notice. Don't chase love blindly. Learn how to see through it.